Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Matt and Carly podcast. This is episode 28.
Nicely done.
Matt, Carly, and Carol podcast today.
We have a very special guest on this evening's podcast. This is my mother, Carol Lewis. Welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
Well, thank you.
Person.
Thank you.
Our first alive human being on the podcast.
Yeah.
Sitting next to us, smelling our bug spray.
This is a big deal for us. So you're going to want to watch this whole one.
The mics worked.
First of all, can we cheers?
Cheers.
Oh, we
Can
definitely
we do a
can
little cheers here?
Cheers.
Oh, this is a special night because Grandma's not a beer drinker.
But I'll tell you, this cherry beer is
It's tasty.
the best.
It's pretty good.
I wanted something fruity, and I almost picked up the Blue Moon, and Matt was like, ooh, let's try this
No. Go with
Did
the
you
cherry.
know that these cherries are from Traverse City?
They are not.
I swear to goodness gracious they are. I just read on the back, it said Michigan cherries.
So is this a local beer?
I don't know. That's a great question.
you
Cherry...
gotta talk into your microphone more.
Oh yeah, I'm turning. Is Cherry Sam Adams nationwide?
Yes.
Probably.
Okay.
Probably.
We are the largest cherry export of the world.
Traverse
so, I
City,
mean, that
Michigan
would make
is.
sense. Okay.
So before we start talking about what we're going to talk about tonight, I have to apologize to every one of our loyal followers, subscribers, listeners, because I came off as a total idiot last time. What I said, it was podcast 26. So my apologies, because the last one was podcast 27. This is officially podcast 28. And in honor of what we're going to do tomorrow, which is, Grandma, what are we doing tomorrow?
We are going blueberry picking as a family.
We are going to go fill some buckets
Yes, we are.
with some meter blueberries.
I hope.
What's your favorite kind of blueberry, Grandma?
I don't know because I've never paid attention to what variety they are. I like blueberries.
I know the ones that are front and center when you first walk in are called Nelsons.
Yeah, those are good too.
And then all I remember is Nelson and Meter, and I don't remember the other ones.
I don't either. There's Duke.
Yeah, that sounds
Duke.
right.
Are they Duke blueberries?
Maybe. That sounds
Does that sound right?
Brayburn. That's an
Brayburn?
apple. What is that? Brayburn's an apple.
Honeycrisp is one.
Blueberries.
No, I've never paid attention to a variety of blueberries. We've just gone to the patch and picked whatever was there.
And we do a good job. We take our kiddos and we just let them eat as much as they can.
Yep.
The funny part is, my favorite part about the blueberry patch that we're going to is they basically have a giant fence with barbed wire and electric fence around it because there's a bear that wants in.
Yep.
And they will not let it in.
Are you serious?
Yeah, that's what they told us.
That's why there's the electric fence and everything. Because
They're
there's a
aggressive.
bear.
I know that.
So they warn you. They're like, yeah, if you go over there, you might see the bear. He sits on the outside of the fence.
It cries. It wants you to throw blueberries at
Yeah,
it like a
he wants you
seagull.
to. He wants you to do that. So what we're going to talk about tonight is fun
And embarrassing.
and embarrassing, whatever. Summertime childhood memories. And we're not giving Grandma any heads up time. So we're just going to go with whatever she wants. We gave her half a beer, so it should be entertaining.
Specifically in the car on the way home tonight from our date night, I said, you know what we should do? We should have your mom come on the podcast and absolutely roast you.
Roast me.
Just all the childhood memories she's got, the dirt, just let it out. Put it on the internet.
Well, I have
good ones.
I have a lot, but probably I would not share all of them.
The appropriate, just, wholesome embarrassment. That's what I want.
We don't want to incriminate ourselves.
No.
We don't want to offend anybody close to our family.
gonna-
Well, you can do that if you want to. But
The
yeah,
one that I want to hear the
Okay.
most about is Matt gave me a little bit of and this is from his perspective, on when he was in the grocery store and he got lost or decided to walk away and he got called on the loudspeaker.
multiple.
I want to hear
times.
that.
Oh, I don't remember that, but I remember telling him that if he didn't quiet down and behave, I would yell at him. And he was mortified. He was terrified of being yelled at.
Do you want to know what?
Store.
Do you want to know what our kids do?
What do they do?
They don't give a shit.
Yeah, you're going to yell at me. Oh, let me do it even worse now.
So okay, it's funny. Yeah, I was telling Carly. I remember being like a younger kid, like I don't know how old, maybe 10, something like that. It was when I was bound and determined to go and check on the latest Ninja Turtle toys that were in like a Walmart or Kmart or whatever. And I would probably, looking back on it, just walk away, just leave you in the dust. And like whatever you were looking at, I was like, see ya, I'm going to the toys.
In fairness, too, though, 10 back then is probably not that weird to like, because, you know, like kids used to go and play until dark and you were like 5 years old and it was like not a big deal.
Yeah.
You know, like now it's like weird.
There wasn't all the stranger danger and everything back then. You didn't have to worry about somebody grabbing your kid.
There was. We just didn't know about it.
Or it just wasn't
attention to
as rampant.
Yeah, but we lived in a small town too, so it wasn't so bad.
So my memory, and tell me if I'm right or wrong on this, my memory was I would go, I remember at Carter's once, there was a woman with a mustache who used to work at the front. I'm so sorry for watching this podcast.
I know.
Yes,
I
beard,
know who
mustache.
Yeah.
She looked like the boy from the Sandlot that was like, "You're killing me, Smalls," like that, but as a 60-year-old woman with a good mustache. Did you just hear that sound? So anyway, I remember her specifically saying something like this. She'd be like, "Attention shoppers. If there's a Matt Lewis in the store, your mother is at the front and she will be leaving in 2 minutes. Please get your ass up here so you can leave." Does that sound about right?
I don't remember the ass up here.
My question is, how fast did I used to come? Because when I told this to Carly, I said to her, because I didn't want everybody to know that I was the kid. So wherever I was in the store,
Just be like,
I had to act like I was shopping my way to the front.
so it wasn't you.
Yeah, no, that's not my mom calling me on the loudspeaker. And in fairness, we didn't have cell phones or anything.
Yeah.
Oh, no, absolutely not.
Tell me your perspective on that, Grandma.
Well, I remember maybe not at the IGA, but at Kmart because it was a bigger store.
Yeah.
That I would have you paged.
Oh, I'd be way back in the red light district, like looking at toys.
Yeah, I probably used to do that.
Tell me your thoughts on that. Was it like a cute, I can't wait to do this thing? Or was it like, oh, my kid?
Oh, no, I was just ready to go and I wasn't going to wander around the store looking for you.
Did it work though?
Yeah.
Was there ever a time that you just left me in the store?
Never. No.
Never?
No.
I think I remember a time that you had left. You might have driven around the parking lot or something.
I might have gone to the car, but I wouldn't have driven away.
No. There's no might about that. There was. I found you in the car many times after being paged in Kmart.
You know, I actually remember the lady's name, but I'm not going to say it.
No, don't say the name.
I don't remember her last name, but I remember her first name because it was really unusual.
Yeah. Well, we used to take the can.
She was so nice.
She was super nice.
Yeah.
Super nice. Didn't own a mirror, but super nice.
Worked in a grocery store, still couldn't figure it out.
No, in all seriousness, she was probably one of the nicest people that I remember.
Absolutely.
Super nice.
Yep.
I'm just picking on.
I've heard that's a correlation, though, the size of your stash and your niceness.
That's why
I've heard, right, you're
look
so
at how nice
nice
I am.
So
Look at how nice I am.
Well, I must be a real big bag.
Yeah.
That gives me like flashbacks to when I was playing in the backyard, like either with friends or whatever, in our like backyard next door neighbors, and it would, you know, it'd be getting dark or whatever, and my mom would just whistle like the 2 fingers in your mouth, like blow as hard as you can, whistle, where she like saved her life one time doing it. Blew as hard as she could, and I just hear the sound, and I'm like, that's my mom. I gotta go home. And I'd be like running through the woods in the dark. Looking back on that, there's probably a bunch of wild animals like stalking me.
Your mother has
like,
a very loud whistle.
She does. It's come in handy.
It's frightening.
It's saved her life. It is a life-saving whistle.
Do that? Can you do the crazy whistle thing?
No, my dad did though. And, you know, as old as I am, I can still remember that.
Striking fear into your heart.
If Dad whistled, we better get our butts home because they've been calling and we didn't come.
Ooh.
And that was the limit.
Yep.
That's
I remember that.
That's no good.
Yeah,
and we never did that. We just called you across the fence. Our neighborhood wasn't that big.
No. I told Carly, I remember. Like, so I'm betting that my good buddy DJ is going to watch this podcast at some point. We had our house was at the end. Was at the end of the block. So from our back door, you could yell and it would cross over like all the houses that I
Several
might
lots.
be
Yeah.
at. And I can remember.
The sonic mom boom voice just like
No,
spreading across the neighborhood.
I have what Carly calls a thundering dad voice.
Yeah.
Like when I want something done,
Yeah.
it gets loud. Grandma's gets like, it's like,
You know she's pissed.
it's like, oh, I fucked up big
Like
time.
the sheep.
Yeah,
like
it's like,
bah.
you're like, oh, the sheep yell. No, I can remember that because we had little places that we could jump over fences.
Yeah.
And I can remember I heard her yell once and I was like a track star going over
Like
these
Ferris
fences.
Bueller's Day Off
yeah, I was
style.
like, oh, I am big. Because I ignored the first one,
Oh,
like knowingly. I'm
Mistake.
like, screw dinner. I'm not going to dinner. We're going to play down here at DJ's house. And then I got the screaming, like auto-tune gone bad yell. And I'm like, I'm in such shit right now. And I remember Mitch and DJ, my childhood buddies, looked at me and they're like, you should probably go.
Me too. Everyone would be like, Carly, your mom has been whistling for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I know, and it was so bad.
Yeah.
So bad.
It never goes well.
And now our kids do it to us and we're like, why do they do that?
Grandma, could you imagine me and Kristen or whoever, back in the day, you could just pick up a cell phone and call my cell phone and be like, hey, can you come home?
Oh,
Or
heck
texting.
no.
How easy would
Heck
that be?
no. Never.
Location trackers on your phone now, like knowing
Oh,
where, like
no.
all that weird stuff.
It just seems weird.
Like share my location iPhone thing.
Yeah.
So many things exist now where it's like you don't even need to know.
Oh, well.
You know, like the bike gangs, like the childhood bike gangs. I was a part of one of those.
What?
And I just roamed the streets.
You mean like the cards in the spokes?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're like,
You did not.
Me too.
oh, yeah, we did.
We have
We went all
such
over the
different
place.
memories.
We went all over the place. But it was cool because everybody knew everybody.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Like everybody knew who everybody
Oh,
was.
yeah.
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 What was the sketchiest place I used to go as a kid? Like, what was the place you'd be like, he better not be over
Is it
at?
Bennett Park?
What made you nervous?
You never went any place that made me nervous. Probably because I didn't know.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, maybe when you were in middle school to the railroad tracks.
Yeah.
Ooh, down to the tracks.
Wow.
What happened at the
down
tracks, Matt?
Well, I think I got caught smoking a cigarette.
I think so. And I think someone's mom called and ratted you out.
Fucking rat. Who did? Whose mom? Don't say names. Do you know who it was? Was it somebody? Oh, I know who it was. What a narc.
30 years later.
No, we did. Okay. In all fairness,
I know, and I can't remember. I mean, I did
never-
know, and I can't remember right now.
I never smoked weed as a bad kid. I never drank booze as a bad kid. But the one thing that you could get, my little circle of boyfriends in junior high and early high school, there was always somebody's dad or mom that smoked cigarettes. So you could always steal one or two, and we were the bad kids. We were like the James Dean. And we'd go sneak down to the dumbest places where people could see you and be like, oh, we're so cool. And we're like, nobody can smell this on us. But we're scot-free.
Oh, no.
We were so dumb.
I wonder if I was
funny.
on the, because we're about 4.5 years apart. We're almost 5 years
Yeah.
apart. I wonder if within those 5 years, there was a big push for the anti-tobacco thing. Because
I'm sure.
it was such a weird thing. If you got caught smoking like that, or not weird because people used to do it, but I remember in schools they would just be like, don't do it, you're gonna die if you smoke cigarettes, and it was always yikes, all right, back off.
I don't really, I mean, we always had DARE,
Yeah, dare.
always.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Drug and alcohol resistance education.
you had that shirt for a long time.
I wore it as more a funny thing in college.
It would be usually when we go out to the bar in East Lansing, and it would be a video of you just hammer drunk
I
wearing
am
a dare
not
shirt.
the only one that had those shirts. They were coveted.
They were. Yes.
They were coveted.
I remember those. I remember that. It was cool.
I actually remember going to the DARE program at
do
the
too.
junior high auditorium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay. I'm going to come clean about a story, and I want to get your thoughts on this.
Oh dear, is it going to be a surprise?
No, I don't think. No. I don't think it's a surprise.
Okay.
But looking back on it now, it's a wonder that I came out alive. number
I
one.
feel like everyone thinks that about their child. There are some things I
No,
look back and
no,
I'm
no,
like,
no.
how did I come out of that?
This will be a gem for you. I don't know if you've ever heard
Oh,
this.
yes.
So, and I think
Spill
some
the
of the people
tea.
in my neighborhood know
Okay.
about this. It's not terrible. It's just very unsafe and sketchy looking back on it. So, we had like little jars or like little bins in our house that like you guys used to put change in. Like you'd have quarters or whatever. Like there was like a little, like, you know, the little icing things, like the frosting things. We'd keep those little cups.
Yeah.
And I knew where there would be cups with like quarters or whatever in it.
Yeah.
So back in the day, sports cards were like the thing.
Yeah.
It was like the thing. They didn't have Pokemon cards. They didn't
Right.
have, it was like NBA basketball, baseball, football. It was like cards. And this is like when Michael Jordan was big.
Yeah.
So it was like, that was the thing that was valuable. That and Pogs. Pogs, I remember
Pogs
that.
are the best.
You didn't have many pogs.
That's because I lost them all. I sucked at it. You don't need to put salt in that wound. So no, there was so anyway, I'm gonna come clean. I lied back in the day. I had a little mountain bike, and that was my form of transportation. I'm being honest right here. But we knew of a guy.
Oh no. like a
We
dealer.
knew of a guy.
Like a dealer.
Oh boy, this is so bad.
This is
I
a
hope-
surprise to me. I can't wait to hear this.
I hope that I'm not the only one from my neighborhood that knew about this. No, there's no way I was. Okay, anyway, there was a guy that lived down, like how many blocks? 5 blocks away. It was right by. So anybody from Charlotte, Michigan area, the Southridge area, the little Southridge.
Southridge School.
So on the south side of the Southridge thing, there's like a playground. Okay. There was a guy who had a house on that road, like over there, and he had a shed. It was like a shed, and it was full of cards. I mean, it was full of cards. He was like wheeling and dealing cards out of his shed.
But he was like a grown.
He was like a
collector?
grown ass man.
Did I know that though? That almost sounds familiar.
I think I told you about it.
Maybe.
So I rated your coin collection, and I got, $10 worth of coins, and I put them in my pockets. And I don't remember what I told you I was going to do, but I went down by myself to this guy's shed, knocked on the guy's house, and he was like, hey, I'm like, hey, you got the goods? Because I got $10 worth of quarters up in this bitch, and I'm going to clean you out.
Oh my god.
So looking back on this now, the guy's like, oh yeah, come on back to my shed behind my house. And I'm like, doo-doo. I walk back there with my pocket full of coins, and I proceed to buy like some cards. And I'm like, to me as a, I don't even know how old it was. Maybe, I'm just going to say 10.
Yeah.
Who knows? I'm like, I went and bought cards, and my parents don't know about it, and I robbed them blind. And I got these cards now. And I remember coming back, and I can't remember if you were like, what were you doing? Because I came back with cards.
Yeah.
But they weren't like the cards in a package. They were
just,
like
individual.
They were in the
Individual.
plastic things.
Yeah.
And they were like, where did you just go? And I was like, oh, nowhere at all. And
I told you.
looking back on that, I should have been abducted right then and there.
Oh yeah, you never
I
should have
was-
left that guy's house.
No, I should have been like dog food or something.
I said I'm getting senile because I don't have any recollection.
Maybe I
of
didn't
that
tell you
at all.
about it.
You probably
I
did
probably
not,
didn't.
because-
But I can tell
I
you
never
at
missed
one
the
point.
money. I don't remember ever coming up short.
I'm pretty positive that like my buddies knew, because I was like, dude, look at this card I just got. And they're like, did you tell your parents? I'm like, fuck no.
Well, yeah, let's share the story about the Michael Jordan card you had.
Oh no, I've not
Actually-
heard, did I hear
Have
this?
you not heard that?
I don't know.
Oh,
You can tell the story because I'm proud of it.
I can tell
I
the
stand
story.
by, sort of stand
There-
by my decision.
There was Matt had a Michael Jordan card that was worth.
Oh, come on. You got to tell more. You got to
bit.
tell more.
Well,
you got
I
to tell the
don't
place and the
remember.
time and where I got it from.
Yeah. Well, I don't remember where you got it, but I
reading place.
Oh, the reading place downtown. Okay, I remember that. Yeah,
The reading place
comic
was
books and cards.
was a sex novel store
Oh, it was comic books.
They had so many lusty. It was little boys buying cards and comic books and
Looking at
50-year-old
this.
women reading the sexy novels that they sold.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, he
reading
wanted to
place.
sell his card, and there was another
Hold
place
on,
downtown.
Hold on. Hold on.
What?
I went and bought a pack of cards
Okay. You
and I
finished.
opened it up. And what did I find?
Well, you must have had a Michael Jordan card.
It was 1 out of 100 ever made.
What?
Defensive Player of the Year card.
No, it was not.
Yes, it was.
And
Mint. 10 out of 10 condition. Never bent. Perfect.
there was another card store downtown that bought and sold, and Matt wanted to sell it. So his dad took him down to the store. Did Kristen go with you that day? Because I think she also tried to talk you into selling it.
Yeah, I think they both did. Well, so, okay. How did I know what it was worth? Do you remember how I found out?
Snopes.
Do you remember?
Snoops?
No.
What's it called?
We didn't have the internet.
Did they tell you down at the store?
No, there was a magazine called A Beckett.
Oh, yeah.
yeah.
And a
Beckett's, yeah.
Beckett came out on a monthly basis, and you could look up card values. My card, fresh out of the package, day one, was worth
$100.
$92.
Yeah, was it?
Oh,
Well, it was
no.
about 100. Yeah, and that was a
day
long
one,
time
with
ago.
zero time going by.
No.
And I sold that motherfucker.
$90.
Yeah, he sold it for some other cards
Well,
and a
hold-
little bit of cash.
How much would it be worth right now?
I don't want to know.
I'm
If
going to
anybody would
look.
like to look,
What? Tell me what it is.
I'm pretty sure the last time I looked, it was like $500.
And he had seller's remorse big time after he
do
got
you
home.
remember
He
what I
wished
got?
he didn't sell that card and that
What
he
was-
still had it.
What was the year?
Oh, I don't even know. I want to say it was 1992.
92.
It was like a 92 Michael Jordan all defensive player of the year, all defensive team. If you Google,
and were
like-
you about 10? You weren't very old.
Yeah. But in all fairness, I traded it for $30 and I got 4 Shaquille O'Neal cards. Decent Shaquille O'Neal cards.
Do you still have those?
Yes, I do.
Yeah, I think so.
Nice.
And do you remember what I bought with the $30?
No.
I bought my first bow and arrow.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
It was a fiberglass piece of shit. But I bought it was red.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
Do you
cool
remember?
though.
yeah.
So I bought a
remember
bow and
that.
arrow. And yeah, I wish I would have kept the card because I think the card last time I looked was probably worth like upwards of $500. Did you find it?
I'm looking right now.
Well, I've thought in my old age I'd like to go through the cards that I still have at home that belong to him and see if there's
Don't
anything
touch
of
those
any
cards.
value.
You gave us a big
but I
binder.
don't. And he wanted me to throw them. Just throw them all away. And I can't throw them all away. So they're
No,
still
no,
at
no,
home.
no.
Some of them are in plastic, in notebooks. They're in sleeves.
Yeah, we have a binder that you brought, and I don't know.
The
if
binder
that's
is the one
all
that
of
has the
them.
good ones.
Okay, we have
So-
that.
There might be another one of those at home though. And then there's a little box. It's a little square box that you stored your cards in. And there's
Was
at
it a
least
Fleer
one
Ultra?
of those.
Maybe.
Okay.
Yeah, it was probably a Fleer Ultra Michael Jordan all defensive player of the year or all defensive team. It was a nice card.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so you have to remember back in the day when this was happening, Shaquille O'Neal played for the Orlando Magic and he was like today's Kevin Durant. He was like the best big man in the league, right?
Does it have a picture of him jumping and then another picture of him jumping?
Let me see it.
Because if so, it's worth like $2,500.
Yeah, that's it.
Kidding. Oh my God.
That's it. Go ahead and show the people.
It is.
That is the card.
And I'm assuming this is in like mint condition.
Yeah. Oh, it was minter than mint.
Well,
don't know
his
if you
was because it
What
came
is
right
it?
out of the package.
Is it really worth $2,500
Oh,
bucks?
yeah. If it's in perfect condition
was
right now.
Perfect condition.
Right out of the package.
You have to understand, this was 1990. What year was the card? 'Cause it-
93, 94 is what this
okay,
one
so it
says.
was 1994. I would have been 10.
Is it that's what it looks like?
That is the card.
Okay. Oh man, babe.
And it was
Are you okay right now?
it was minter
not.
than mint condition.
Oh gosh. Oh, my
Does it
gosh.
make you a little bit cringy inside?
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a sweet card. That looking back,
That would
I mean,
be cool to just have, like not
Yeah.
even sell, just have. to
that
have
was
it.
that was a whoops a daisy.
Yeah. And frankly, the really sad part of it was maybe I was there too. I can't remember.
No, you weren't.
But you kind of were balking and they were saying, oh, yeah, just go ahead and sell it. Dad and Kristen or whoever was with you.
They owe you like
I know
$2,400.
Kristen was there. I know
Yeah,
Kristen
I
was
think
there.
she was. I think
She went
was.
downtown with us.
Yeah.
They can split it.
But you know what? Hey,
It got you your bow and arrow.
I got me a bow and arrow,
Yeah.
which I do not have anymore.
And now somebody has a really nice card.
I
Yeah.
do. Well, okay, so I do have. See, back in the day, I didn't know Jordan was going to be Jordan, like the best of all time.
Yeah.
But I did get 2 or 3 Shaquille O'Neal gold rookie cards, which I still have. So someday they might be worth
Is
something.
card trading still
It's coming back.
cool? Is
Yeah.
it still
Is it?
something that's like of value and like people do?
Yes.
Because I know you have friends who just opened a
Yes.
card trading store in the Charlotte area.
Yes, buying, selling.
Yeah.
Yeah,
But like
cards.
so like my brother used to do some of that, but with Pokemon cards.
So
And
Pokemon
that's
cards
coming back.
are still worth a lot of money.
Yeah. So my nephew does it, or our nephew does it.
Yeah.
He buys and like I don't know if he sells them, but he like buys and trades Pokemon cards. And I was like, when my brother told me that, I was like, wow, those are like still a thing. Cause it's, I mean, you know, I don't know, 20 years ago, 25 years ago, it was like really cool.
I
And
know
it's
that
holding
lately,
up.
like the demand for buying the cards is like almost like a Black Friday thing where people will wait in line at
Wow.
like a Walmart at like 6:00 in the morning and wait for the people to bring out the packs of like the boxes of the cards.
Really?
And you have limits on what you could buy.
So I saw something very interesting that you said that the other day. I was in Walmart or Meijer late. Like it was after the kids went to bed and I went to go grocery shop and I ended up like walking down the toy aisle just to, like check it out to see if they
Yeah.
had clearance stuff or whatever. And there was a probably like 30-year-old guy. And it was so funny because it was like, maybe it wasn't too late because there were other kids in the store, but there was like kids and stuff, whatever. And then there was just this guy that beelined it for like the little card boxes. And he was literally pulling them all out, setting them on the ground and like reaching back. And I was
Oh,
like,
yeah.
what is he looking for?
Oh yeah.
And it's like, there's people who are like for real.
They're
going
like
for
card
it.
sharks.
Yeah.
But older people, not kids. so
Right.
much.
Like
Yeah.
somebody who's
Yeah.
like maybe
Yeah.
more into the collecting
done it
and,
for a
like,
while.
not
Yeah.
necessarily like playing anything, but just having, that's kind of interesting.
So I remember, speaking of cards, and the place downtown in Charlotte, Michigan, when I was a kid, was called the Reading Place, and it was a bookstore. But they sold comic books and they sold cards, and they were like the paper drug dealers of the city. But I had a Spider-Man comic book series, and I want to say it was called Maximum Carnage.
Ooh.
And it was with Venom, and the guy Carnage was the guy. And I remember I got 12, I think there were 13 comic books in the series, and they were hard to get. And I had 12, I think I still might have them. Maybe not. I don't know if I still have them or not. Actually, I don't think I do, which that's a bummer. But I was missing one comic book, and all the other ones were like
too.
mint. I used to keep them in like little things. I need to go back and see if I still have those comic books. But it was so hard to get. And I remember at one time, the Reading Place had one, and they wanted like $100 for it. And I was like, I gotta sell some drugs or something. So I was like, I need this comic book. And I remember I used to ride my bike downtown, and I would just go in to look at it. You know how like you give me crap about today? You're like, I can't
shopping.
window shop. I used to go in and just hold it
That's funny.
and be like, one day you'll be mine. You're going to be coming home with me. And I never got it. But yeah,
Oh, that's
I had
funny.
looked at it, and I never took it out to like look at the pages because it was like,
Yeah.
mint condition. But yeah, that was
No,
like,
that's
that was my
what's up.
childhood goal.
You know, those might still be at home because I'm such a hoarder and I don't throw things away that I think might mean something. I can't throw other people's things away.
Well,
And they might
specifically
be in a tub
Spider-Man.
upstairs. I kind of almost remember that, and they might be.
I think they are.
That's cool to save stuff
We'll
like
have
that
to
though.
look. Yeah.
They're old. They
Yeah.
would be old.
I wonder how comic books are doing nowadays. Like, what's the value on those? Is it similar to like trading cards, or do you think it's?
I don't
like,
know. I'd have to look it up. It's definitely not worth $2,500 like that Michael Jordan card.
Probably not.
Ooh, that
No,
one
absolutely not.
stings a little bit, huh?
So, Grandma, I'm super curious. What's your earliest childhood summertime memory? What do you remember? Like when you think way, way, way back in the day, like you were probably riding on horse and buggy someplace, right?
No, probably not. I do actually probably before I was 5 because we moved. We lived upstairs in an apartment above my grandparents' house. So I kind of have memories of spending time with my grandparents there. And of course, there are pictures. So I have pictures of.
That doesn't count. If you're just remembering the
from
picture.
when we
that
were
doesn't
one
count.
or two. But
I'm just kidding.
no, I remember spending the week with my grandparents because mom and dad would go deer hunting. They'd go up north for a week and in November. And so we would stay with my grandparents. I remember when I was 5 or 6 for Christmas getting walking dolls.
What in the world is that?
The ugly dolls that we have at home right now that Lauren and Lila like to play with.
Like their legs.
Oh, the
rotate back and
creepy
forth.
eye doll.
The creepy
where
dolls
They
that-
go like this.
Yeah, and Kristen has a friend who wants them to put them out for Halloween. She does. She says, if you ever get rid of them, this woman wants them to put out in her yard
That's
for
funny.
Halloween.
For those of you who do not know, Kristen is my older sister.
Yes. So I remember that. I remember, sadly, when I was 8, but I don't think I was that old. My dad's mom, my grandmother Wood, passed away on Christmas Eve. I remember that.
That's terrible.
Yeah. I remember having a birthday party when I was a little kid out in the side yard of our house. And the reason I remember that is because I got underwear with Robin Hood embroidered on them. That was
nice.
the biggest
Embroidered?
thing. Yeah, and they were embroidered with Robin Hood, and for some reason, I just remember that. I was probably 6 or 7 or so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was Robin Hood? He was the Prince of Thieves' panties.
I guess, but it's just funny how
hood
you
for your
have
hood, you know what I'm
certain memories. And of course,
Did you just hear what she said?
what
She
did I
said,
say?
"A hood for your hood."
Absolutely.
I almost didn't, but it came out. It came right out.
Oh,
I
that's
wasn't.
terrible.
So I have memories. I have memories of playing with kids in our neighborhood because we had a lot of them. I remember going to kindergarten and taking a nap on a rug. We had nap time and we all took a little rug or blanket to
funny.
lay down.
When I was in kindergarten, do you remember what I said and I got in trouble?
No.
Do you remember what I said? First time, I remember the first time I remember getting in trouble.
Oh no! What'd you do?
And so in kindergarten, we had a sand station. Okay.
Tell that neat.
Right.
Yeah.
And we had a sand station. Where are you going?
Get a refill.
Oh, don't forget, they're not twist offs.
I know.
Don't do what I did. I remember we were playing in the sand and something was said and somebody was saying like something castle. And I said, how about a fart castle?
I don't remember.
And I said it twice because I thought it was so funny. And my kindergarten instructor decided it was worth the
Inappropriate.
effort to keep me inside during recess. And I was crushed.
Did you have Diane Long?
Don't name drop.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, she was awesome.
Yes,
I can.
Mrs. Long.
Yes,
I'm
I
still
can
scarred from
I
that.
can name her because she was the most awesome kindergarten teacher.
I had 6 kindergarten children laughing their little asses off because I used the word fart and castle in a sentence, and you didn't think it was funny. That was the first time I got in trouble in my life.
We haven't had any.
Your
phone
kids
calls
come
yet.
by that naturally then.
Yeah.
I was gonna say we haven't
Yeah.
had any phone calls yet for any bad behavior, but who do you think's gonna be the first?
Of our kids?
Yeah.
Your son.
Yep. he's
He's
poor
going to be the
man.
one?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The girls are smart enough to wait till they get home.
He finds
Adam's
it so
gonna
funny.
let it go. He's gonna do it in school.
He just
gives no shits.
says everything he hears.
Yeah.
So you have to be really careful around. And
Yeah.
he doesn't even wait. You say it and he says it
Yep.
just like that.
I have to tell you this story.
He's
I
also
told
in
Car-
the poop is funny phase right now. And
So
it's-
okay, I have to tell you this story. So we, Grandma's up here hanging out with the grandkids
Yep.
this weekend. So that's the reason she's our special guest on the podcast. But anyway, I was upstairs taking care of some business in the bathroom. Just
hanging out.
just hanging out or whatever. And everybody was
my stomach's
downstairs.
growling.
That was loud. So everybody was downstairs, and Mama and Grandma went outside, and then I heard the girls follow Mama and Grandma out to the garden. I'm assuming that's what happened. And I was upstairs, and I hear our little guy Adam go, "Mama, da-da." And I was like, I wasn't sure if anybody was downstairs, so I listened. And he goes, "Mama, da-da." And I said, "What's up, buddy?" And he goes, "I need your help." And I said, "What do you need, bud?" And he goes, "I need your help." And I said, "Okay, what?" And he goes, I need help getting out." And he said, "I'm stuck." And I go, "Oh shit." I'm like, "Where is he?" And I'm like, "Where are you, buddy?" And he goes, "I'm in my chair." And he's got a booster chair that like we like set him down into. And I go, "Okay, just give me a minute." I said, "I'm in the bathroom." And I'm like, he goes, "Okay." I'm like, "Just give me a second. I'm going poo poo." And he goes, "Okay." And like 2 seconds goes by. He goes, "Da-da. Are you touching your penis?"
Are you holding it down?
And I said, "Yeah." And I said, "Yes, buddy. I'll be down in a second." He goes, "Okay."
Oh, man.
He really did say that.
Yeah. All the things. He goes,
Oh my God.
"Are you touching your penis?" I said, "Yes, I am right now. Just give me some privacy from the floor away."
Oh, that boy. That
That's
boy.
so
Yeah,
funny.
he was good. He waited. And he waited in his chair. And, he was like smiling at me. Like,
Oh, that's
yeah, he's
funny.
definitely going to be the one to get in trouble.
Yeah, I don't know trouble, but he sure is a free spirit for sure.
That's a good way to put it.
Yeah.
He's a pretty good sport. I feel like you were a pretty good sport with your sister, though. Like I saw some like funny like hairdos that you got, some like makeovers and stuff. For the most part, I feel like Adam's gonna fall right in line with that.
See,
Where like he's got the makeover thing going on. They paint his nails and like
Adam's got it easy because Adam has two sisters, but they're related by blood. So there's a little level of like respect. They're like, "Well, he's our brother. We don't want to do that." When I was younger, Kristen had friends, and all the friends had no blood relation to me. So they're like, "Just do it.
Yeah.
Put that bra on that little boy."
Yeah, with the balloon. Oh no, that was Kristen
No,
with
that
balloons.
yeah. I remember I had a big old balloon rack when I was a baby, a little kid.
No, in the bathtub tonight, Adam said, "Look at my nails." And he had blue fingernails.
Yeah, that little boy has adopted their old dresses, and I don't give a shit.
He's pretty
He
funny.
has so much fun putting those things on.
yeah.
I'm like, whatever.
He does.
He rotates
Have
between
at
like
it.
a good cape and like a good like moon, like an astronaut suit, and then
Yeah.
occasionally he'll pick up a dress, and we're just like whatever.
Yep.
I was watching him the other day though, and it's funny because he doesn't like he'll spin around and he likes to just watch it like fan out. Like
Yeah.
that's what he does.
Oh,
And it's
yeah.
just he's so curious, like to just mess
Yeah.
around with whatever he's got laying around.
It is what it is.
That's the best.
It's pretty cute. So we went to the zoo. We made a trip to the Binder Park Zoo, which is awesome. If you've not been there, take your kids. Just go for yourself. You can feed they're not wild. You can feed
contained
giraffes.
giraffes.
You can pay like
They
an
made it
exorbitant
all the way
amount of
from
money
Africa.
You pay
for lettuce.
$1 a leaf for lettuce.
Yes, but you can see, first time Grandma went, she didn't know, and she just handed the whole damn piece of lettuce to the giraffe.
And
And I
Matt
was like,
says, "What are you doing?
that
you
was a
have
mistake.
to tear it apart."
Let's give him little chunks, you know?
That's funny.
But yeah, so we went down there, and as we were leaving, our little guy Adam picked out basically like a giraffe lightsaber sword.
Yeah.
And today, I don't know what the deal was, but there was a pillow on the ground, and Carly goes, all I
He was
remember.
trying to hit me or like
was trying to
somebody
hit
else.
you?
And I was
Oh,
like,
okay.
okay, we need to direct this boy energy somewhere else.
So she goes, "Okay, buddy, hit that pillow."
Yeah.
And that little rascal just like,
He was like hauling up
for a
and like
2-year-old,
hitting
it was like, It's like, oh my God. And he just was like, "Die, pillow." And I was like, whoa, buddy.
Well, I've heard it's very
Whoa.
normal for boys, especially, to like want to hit and punch, and like it's a normal like I wanna like punch something.
Yeah,
and
that's what boys
I've
do.
read and I've heard like instead of saying like don't hit, don't punch, like instead of suppressing that,
Right.
you like direct it into something a little bit more constructive.
Yeah.
So I was like, what do I have right now?
Let
That's
it
not
out.
my back. How about this pillow? And he was just like, yes, mama, got it. So, like,
Yeah, it was a good one.
so funny.
that's
He was all about just destroying that
Yeah.
pillow with that thing.
Yeah. He was, yeah.
I have to share about Adam, though. He is the sweetest little boy I've ever known.
He's very compassionate.
Got him out of his bath tonight and was just drying him off. And he said, "Thank you, Grandma, for going to the zoo and the park with us." Just out of the blue, just thank you. And later he said, "Thank you for coming to our house."
He is such a sweet little boy.
Just,
He really is.
just out of the blue. He is just so special.
He's very thoughtful. I have to tell you, and I didn't tell you this, but yesterday when we went to go get pizza, or a couple days ago, you know how they stapled a little carbon copy strip onto the pizza box? The local place that we go, like they've got like, they kind of do things
ticket.
old school. Yeah, they got the ticket that they jot it down and then they like carbon copy, rip it off and like staple it onto the box or tape it or whatever. Well, somebody was walking out of the pizza place and it had fallen off of their box. And like there were a couple people in line and he reaches down and he saw it fall off and he goes, "Oh no, they lost the paper." And he like picked it up and he was like trying to go out the door. And the lady, like as soon as it happened, the lady was like, "Oh, hi, how can I help you?" So I had to like go up to the front.
Yeah.
But I was like, "Come here, buddy." I said, "We can give it to him. We'll see if they're out there." And another guy was walking out of the store at the same time. And he goes, "Wow, he's a really helpful little boy." And I was like, "Yeah, that was like really sweet." But he saw it and he's like, "We need to go give it to that person. They dropped it." And I
That's
was
so
like,
cute.
Aw.
"It was so
Yeah, that's
cute."
Adam for sure. For sure.
Yeah, he's very thoughtful. It's so funny.
We were going to get ice cream today. Today was a special day. We got
It
to go to the
was.
park. We got to get ice cream.
We played around at disc golf. We
played
went on a
a-
date night. Your
Carly and I-
son, by the way, is like a disc golf whiz now.
Oh,
He is so good, sinking putts from like
Yeah.
100 feet away.
I shot
to tell you that.
even part of the night and I
Did you?
blew like 6 putts. Yeah.
He was
Wow.
he was doing good.
I was killing it. But so we had a fantastic day. Yes, we got to go on a little disc golf date night. Thank you, Grandma, for watching our
you're
children.
welcome.
That was really fun.
But as we were, it was really cute. We were getting Dairy Queen. So we were driving through and Carly goes, "Oh, I really like that girl's nails." The girl at the counter. I don't know if you heard this. I'm sure you did.
All the kids.
Carly was driving and we were going through the drive-through at Dairy Queen. And our kids are like very observant. We made the mistake originally of when we were going through drive-through lanes or whatever, we'd roll the window down. We'd go, "Okay, say hi to them," because they're like, we live in a smaller town,
Be
so like we
friendly.
see
Yeah.
certain people more often than
And it
not.
was when they were really little. So they
Yeah.
weren't always like they
So
just
it wasn't
watch.
obnoxious
Yeah.
at first. But so we're driving through and Carly goes, "Oh, I really like that girl's nail," the girl that was like at the window. And I said, "You should tell her." And she goes, I'm going to. And so the girl came back and
and
Carly-
then Lauren did.
yeah, Carly goes, "Oh, I really like your nails." And she goes, "Oh, thanks." Or what did Lauren say? She goes, "I really like your nails too."
And then Adam
And
did
then
that.
Adam goes,
Yeah.
"I like your nails too."
She was cracking up because she was like, "Oh my gosh, it's like an echo chamber."
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Yeah, they're very sweet.
There was one lady though, one drive-through lady, because we were like, they were getting a little out of hand. They were like, "Hi, hi, hi," and we're like, "Okay, guys, just one time, just say hello."
one time.
That's it. But one of the ladies, I can't remember where it was. She goes, "This is the best part of my day. That makes my day every time when all these little kids come and they say hi to me." And I was like, "Oh, that's so sweet. Okay, keep going, guys. Like, let it out. It's okay."
So, Grandma, I'm curious. You grew up in Olivet,
I did.
Michigan.
Yes.
Olivet does not have very many like children-friendly places.
No.
Where was like the go-to like child place that you guys used to go? Like when you were kids, was it like a park or was it like a river?
Oh no.
Was it like what was it?
No, we didn't go anywhere. We just played in our neighborhood.
So what did you guys do? Like what was the rotation for you? Like who was it?
At what age
Well-
though, too?
Oh,
Like
well,
young.
we moved there when I was 5. And so all of the families, except for one, there were 2 families across the street and then one next door on down that came later. And so my childhood friends were friends until I graduated from high school. I mean, I still, but
Didn't you guys ever have a fair or anything, like a carnival that would come to town or anything?
No.
Nothing?
We would go to Charlotte to the Eaton County Fair, and sometimes we'd
Big
go
time.
to Marshall to the Calhoun County Fair.
Okay.
What
And
about Frontier Days? Is that
Usually
always
we
a
would
thing?
do. Frontier Days was later.
Is that new?
Yeah.
Newer
Well,
thing?
no, it's not new, but
Yeah, it's old.
It's old, but probably teenager old for me. I don't remember going when we were little.
Oh, I thought that was way older of a fair thing.
No. Olivet's pretty rural. So
Yeah.
my mom and dad always wanted to go to the county fairs and look at all the animals and everything because dad grew up on a farm.
Yeah. Did you guys have family with like livestock and stuff?
No.
You didn't?
No. My dad had one sister and one brother.
Yeah.
And my mom had a brother that died early when he was a teenager, so she was an only child later in life.
Right.
And Grandpa and Grandma lived in Olivet. And my other grandmother and grandfather, who passed away when I was real little, actually, he was the step-grandfather. He was the second grandfather. She lived in Marshall, and they lived in town.
Gotcha.
So we didn't know.
Did you guys have Facebook back then?
Yeah, we did. We did.
Called your feet and you walk to a door and put
that's
your face
why
in
I'm
their
so
door.
really, really good at it now. Yeah, because I have lots and lots
That
of
explains
years
it.
of experience. Yes. Yeah. So, no, but Dad, he grew up on a farm. So he was always, and like I said, it was rural community and they had friends who were farmers and whatever.
I want that so bad. I have such a weird homesteading. Like when you start talking about that, I'm like, I just want to go see it. I love it. I want that.
Some of the really fun times were when we got to go and visit family, friends. It's like my parents had a group of friends that they went to high school with or went to school with through school.
Yeah.
And they always remained friends after. And so they would have a monthly gathering card party thing. Oh. And two of the families in that group were on farms, but the one had girls our age. And so sometimes we could go and spend a weekend or a week at their house out on the farm. So that was always special and fun. Yeah.
Do you remember the time I got bucked off of a horse?
I heard
Grandma's
about
house?
that a little bit.
Oh.
I got kicked right. Do you remember?
Yes.
What was that horse's name? Sundance.
Gosh, I can't remember. Oh, was it Sundance?
Wait, did it have anything to do with Sundance Motors?
Probably. What was that horse? What color was that horse? Do you remember?
Yellow?
No.
Was it? No, I don't. I don't remember.
It was white and gray.
Was it?
That motherfucker kicked me off.
and like I said, you're not the
Do
only
you know
one.
how high up a horse is when you're like 6?
Aunt Marge got thrown off. Aunt Marge got thrown off a horse or a pony when she was young too, up against a barbed wire fence, and so she was not real crazy about riding horses after that.
I just remember like doing that, and then all of a sudden I landed on my ass on the side of the road, and I'm like, I just fell off that horse.
Your daughter must have reincarnated that fear into one of your kids. I can't remember who it was, but when we went to the fair in Mesick and they were on that little carousel pony thing and somebody lost their mind. Was it Lauren?
Lauren did not like it.
It was like, no, get me off of this beast.
She's the kid that's most like me.
She's a little bit more like,
she's like
this is too much danger for
like,
me again.
Big horse. Big one.
No.
Get away from that horse.
Yeah.
I remember that, and I remember crying. This is kind of weird. This is one of my childhood memories. This is supposed to be fun childhood. Well, I guess it was. I did ride a horse, which is cool.
Yeah.
And I got bucked off, and I was a tough little boy, and I got back up. I don't even remember who I was riding with. I know Kristen was there. Anyway, that was traumatic for me, just so you know.
I can't, like I said, I'm getting senile. I can't remember her name either. She lived down
It was a lady.
Yeah, Butterfield Highway, and she was a friend of my mom's, and she had horses, and
she's like,
Kristen was just dying to ride these horses.
Yeah.
So Mom arranged for her to come in, and she brought the horse, and they got to ride the horse.
I have another horse story. Not a horror story.
I was just going to say a horror story.
A horse story. I don't know if I've ever told you guys about this or not, but it was funny. So our neighbor, Amanda and Alice and Debbie at the time, Amanda had a birthday party. And we were like neighbors. So she was like, she invited me to go to this birthday party. And I want
her dad's house.
No. Oh, no. That was another one. No, this one was a horseback riding thing where like, we rented horses to go on a horse trail ride. And they invited me and I was like, yeah, fuck it, whatever, I'll go. Yeah. I was like, sure. It's Amanda's birthday, so we're going to go. So we get there and, I can't remember who was there. I think Danielle and some people. And they were like, oh, here's your beautiful horse. And here's your beautiful horse. And here's this one. It's very well behaved. And then they're like, you get Budweiser.
Oh no.
And I'm like, cool. This is my first time on like a real horse. The guy goes, yeah, this guy's his name's Budweiser. He goes, and he like pulls me aside, right? And all the girls are on these like beautiful, well-behaved horses, and I get this one with like a beer gut named Budweiser, and I'm like, okay, this is something sketchy about this. And he pulls me over. He goes, the reason I'm going to give you this one because you're bigger than the other ones. And I was like,
That's
okay. And he goes, I don't want to freak you out, but you got to keep his head up. If he starts to put his head down, he likes to like try to get some, he likes to eat on the trail. He goes, if he puts his head down, you got to pull on the reins and get his head back up. And I said, what's going to happen? He goes, well, he'll roll over on you. And I was like, like, did this man just say Budweiser, this giant brown horse, is going to roll over on top of me if I don't hold his head up? And I remember Amanda laughing. She was like, I was like, I'm going to die on this trail horse ride. But we made it, me and old Budweiser. And as we were going, like, I think this was actually the Sundance Chevrolet.
Oh,
like,
it could
thing.
be.
I think that's what it was.
Yeah.
Come see us at Sundance. Terry Hanks. I just plugged you. Send me my dividend check. So as we're going on this thing.
You didn't yell loud.
I know. I got another story about that. Hold on. So as we're walking down this trail, Budweiser decides, I'm not going to walk down the trail. I'm going to start going off the trail. So all these horses are walking in a perfect single line. And I'm over here trying to get Budweiser back on this trail. And he will not stay on the trail. He's like 10 feet off, 20 feet off. And I'm like, I guess as long as he doesn't roll, I'll be fine. We made it back. It was good. You know Terry Hanks, right? Do you remember Terry Hanks?
Of course, Terry Hanks.
Do you know Terry Hanks?
Is that his name?
Yeah.
His name's Terry
Sundance
Hanks.
guy? And his wife, right?
His daughter.
His daughter.
Oh, okay.
His
I thought it was
daughter.
his wife.
Yeah.
Tara Hanks.
Tara.
No.
Yeah, Terry and Tara.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yes.
they've got
A riding stable.
Sundance Chevrolet. And the tagline is, come and see us at Sundance. Come on down and see us at Sundance, right? So this story ties in everything. This is when I was in college. So I was legal age to drink alcohol. And we were at the fair. We were at the Eaton County 4-H fair after going to the saloon, which is a bar
Was
down
I
in Charlotte.
there?
No, you weren't there for this one. But we did get you on a bull,
I saw
mechanical
pictures
bull,
of that.
which was hilarious.
Yeah, and
No, this was probably one of my more embarrassing moments, but I'll share this story with you because I don't think you've ever heard this. So we went to the saloon and we were having a dandy good time, and we were like, hey, we're going to go down and, hang out at the fair, which we did. Mm-hmm. And then they have this big grandstand, right? And they have like all the 4-H things.
Yeah.
And the rodeo was on that night. And I'm like, yeah, let's go watch the bulls. Like, let's go watch these guys ride bulls. So I have had a couple of cocktails and I'm sitting there and I can't remember who I was with. I honestly don't remember, but I remember sitting there and I looked over and good old Terry Hanks comes walking down the thing and my brain clicked and I said, I need to stand up and announce this man to everybody. So I stood up, and to the best of my memory, I believe I said, holy shit, everybody, it's Terry Hanks. And I turned around and I said, come and fucking see us at Sundance. And he took his hat off and he tipped his hat to me. And I was like, that was awesome. And everybody clapped.
Yeah.
It was so funny because everybody knows who Terry Hanks is.
I don't remember that.
Everybody
I don't
knows.
What
remember.
an entrance.
It was great.
Some drunk guy actually
No, he was
holding it together.
leaving. That's
he
the
was
worst
leaving.
part. So everybody already knew he was there. It was just me going like, oh, I just realized it.
That's so different.
Yeah. Yeah, that was a good memory.
That's funny.
Yes. Do you want to tell everybody about your Frontier Days memory?
Frontier Days?
Yeah.
Oh, well, I have lots of them.
Well,
We
the good one.
sat along the road and watched the parade.
No. The one where I think your daughter convinced us all to go down and
have a few beers, and they served beer in half-gallon milk jugs.
Nice.
So everybody had plenty to drink.
Yeah, we had a couple of them. How many gallons of beer do you think you drank?
Oh, probably a half gallon. I didn't, it didn't,
A half gallon?
Yeah.
Before you got on the mechanical bull or after?
Probably before.
How old were you when you rode the bull in front of your whole hometown?
Oh, God.
I love that.
55? Or you think you were 55? Well, hold on.
Yeah.
I was, so.
How old were you?
No, you'd have been like 65.
Maybe.
60?
How old were you?
22, 3, 4.
22.
Something like that. I don't know. So you'd be like
55,
60.
56, 57-ish.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Do you remember that evening?
Yeah, I do.
We got photos. We should pop up photos
my
right
God.
here of Grandma riding the bull.
Oh, my God.
You made us proud.
No, you don't need to show photos.
Shoot it away, Grandma. Shoot it away.
Was
But I
that
away.
I'm a good sport.
was that your best Frontier days ever?
Yeah, I think so. I think so. It was so much fun.
That was fun because we had everybody was there.
Oh, yeah.
Like all the Charlotte people were there. All the like
Some people from MSU were there, I think.
Yeah, we
Some
had
of Kristen's friends.
a bunch of Kristen's friends. Like everybody came back. That was a good evening.
Yeah, it was.
Have you ever been to Frontier Days, honey?
No, and I think I wanted to go one
should
time.
have
Well,
gone.
But I feel like when it was happening, we were either out of state, and then when we came back, we had kids, so it was never
Yeah.
oh, we should go and do this.
You
definitely
watched
not
the parade
kid-friendly.
one time because
Yeah.
we sat over on
Yeah.
the parade route with
We got
Lila when
candy.
she was little.
I
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah.
Oh, that was the Frontier Days. Okay, got it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Also, can I just say this? It is taking everything in me to not say Frontier Days.
Frontier.
Frontier.
My brain defaults to Frontier, and I
Like
have to force
Frontier
myself
Airlines?
to say Frontier.
Because
I don't know why.
F-R-O-N, right?
Yeah.
Frontier.
Can't. It's one of those little
Interesting.
bugaboos in my brain.
So
Can't do it.
okay, Grandma, I want you to think back. So what we're talking about is every year in Charlotte, Michigan, they have Frontier Days, which encompasses all the like 4-H fair stuff, and then there's a big night of drinking down, downtown.
Oh, wait a minute,
and
though.
Beer tent.
Frontier Days is not really
It's not the same thing.
4-H. No,
Well, yeah, but the 4-H
4-H
fair
is
is
the
at the
Eaton
same
County
time.
Fair.
Yeah.
But
Are they different times?
Frontier
Oh,
Days
yeah.
is like the harvest. It's like
Yeah.
in
Oh,
September,
that's right. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. That's me.
The fair is going on
Right now.
It just
when is Frontier
ended
Days?
yesterday.
in,
Frontier
like,
Days is
September.
Labor Day weekend.
Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Or
They're
the
different.
weekend after Labor Day is Frontier
Yeah.
Days.
And they have vendors come downtown and they do all that
Yeah,
stuff.
they have the courthouse square and it's all these craft things and
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
what else?
They are not the same time.
They have a reenactment, Civil War reenactment down at Bennett Park and they do have some
It's
animals.
like LARPing.
Yeah.
I don't think
Do you remember when
don't
we saw
remember
those guys
rides.
LARPing?
LARPing. What is that?
LARPing is where grown
Don't
men.
make fun of it unless
not.
you understand it.
I do.
We drove downtown Lansing. Was it Lansing? Yeah, it was South Lansing. We were driving
East
and
Lansing.
there's a like
It's
park.
East Lansing.
And I can't remember even it's like God, I don't remember.
It's the one right by.
Hagedorn? No.
It's south, like where the Meridian Mall is.
Yeah.
If you go south to get on the highway, like on 96, there's a big park, like in between. Oh, what's the building right there? There's a fire department right there.
Yeah. So it's right when you cross over the river, the Grand
Yeah.
River.
Yeah.
Okay. So LARPing, it was in the movie Grown Ups, I believe, or something of that nature with Paul Rudd and
That's
the
not
other
Grown
guy.
Ups. No.
What's
that was
movie called? I don't remember. Okay, there's a movie,
Yeah.
and it was highlighted in that movie. But before we saw that, LARPing is basically there are a set of rules, and you have like weapons, and you have shields, and you have like different type of like
It's like
healing
knights.
powers and all this kind of stuff. It's very
magic.
It's very calculated, but it looks ridiculous in my opinion. And anybody who's a LARPer out
Well, it's
there,
because the swords are like made of foam.
Yeah.
They're like foam swords.
but it's like you have to know what you're doing to play the game. And I'm sure,
do you
like
though?
for example,
Do you
if
though?
I came in, I would
Yeah.
be very not confident.
Dude, we
in a
need to
group of
get Adam
people-
into LARPing.
Who, yeah,
Adam
he
would
would
just
love
hack
that.
those.
He would love it.
He
Just
would.
whack the crap out of the pillow shields that they
Yeah.
have. Yeah, so we were driving by and there was a very large LARPing convention happening at this park, and we were like, "What is happening?" And we didn't
So-
think it was real, but then we realized
You
it
have
was-
to understand
it
that
was
like
real.
like in paintball, for example, like when
Yeah.
you get shot, you don't act like you die. You just go, shit, I got shot. And I
Right, so
walk off.
LARPing is like very theatrical.
LARPing is super theatrical. Like
Yeah.
when you get stabbed, like you have to act like you don't have an arm. And like
I
when you
kinda
die, you have
like
to
it.
like act out that you're dying.
I feel
my
like I
gosh.
would be really into LARPing.
And we were driving down the road, and I remember Carly go, "They're LARPing." I said, "Bullshit." And she goes,
It clicked in my
"They're
brain from that
LARPing."
movie.
And I
was like,
looked and I said, "Pull over."
we did because we were so like, wait, that's a real thing. Because in the movie, we thought they made it up. We did not.
did
think it
not
was
realize
real.
that it was like people would get together and do it.
I feel like I want to LARP now. I would be a good LARPer.
Is this an annual event?
I
don't-
know. I think they do it all the time.
I'm sure it's.
Oh.
It's like a
thing.
LARPing club.
Yeah, it's a thing.
I'm serious. It's like a LARPing club.
I want to
Lord.
LARP.
Where was this going?
I don't know. We were talking about the Frontier
Frontier
Days.
Days.
And
Oh,
then
yeah,
we were
yeah.
talking,
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
because they have the something.
The
what?
reenactment.
Oh,
The
the
Civil
reenactment.
War
there you go. Yeah,
reenactment.
that makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
And then
Yes.
you went to LARPing.
I was like, did I do? And my brain was just like, Civil War LARPing. That's what it is, LARPing.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, that was fun. I don't even remember what
I
we were
feel
talking
like
about with
if
the
you were
Frontier Days thing.
okay,
How did
hold
I
on.
forget?
Oh,
what
if
were we
you
just
were-
talking about?
We were talking about my great time at Frontier Days.
Oh, no. Okay,
And
I
then at
remember.
the saloon. And then you asked if Carly had ever gone.
Okay, I remember what I was going to ask you.
Look
It's
at this!
all
Look at this
coming
bad
back to
memory
me
lady being
now.
able to recall all this information, and we're like, what?
Short term. Short term.
Okay, my question is this, because you said the one, I am totally guilty of this. Carly got up and took our sweet daughter over to the Frontier Days parade because I was like, I am not going to this parade.
No,
So we
no.
walked
If I
around the
remember
corner.
specifically, you said I have to go catch some Pokemon.
Did I do that
I'm pretty sure you
on the
did.
app? No.
No, maybe it was around the same
But
time.
I am guilty of being at your house and when Pokemon Go came out, and I was like, when I figured out how to do it, I did.
Oh, that's right.
I did get up and drive
forgot
down
about that.
like 6 blocks to go catch one.
You did.
That was
What's
awesome.
happening? Is
You
your
did.
husband cheating on you and just randomly leaving the house at 12:30 at night? Nope, he's just going to catch a Pokeball. No
I
worries.
remember him doing that. Yes.
That game was addicting. I totally get how it's popular. No, okay. This is what I was going to ask you because I want to get your thoughts on the way that parades are. Okay, so when we had a parade, you'd have the marching band.
Mm-hmm.
You'd have like what are the little groups of like the guys with the hats?
The Lions Club
the
and the
Knights of Columbus.
Knights of Columbus.
You'd have
yeah.
like you'd have all the little groups from in town that would represent. You'd have like little like political people or whatever.
Yeah.
You'd have local businesses, right?
Yes.
I don't remember specifically getting just rained on with candy. Did they used to just hammer the kids with candy back in the day? I
They
don't
would,
remember
they
this.
would throw it along the parade
Like a
route.
lot or a little?
Quite a bit. Quite a bit.
Okay,
not
did,
tons of it, but
did
yeah,
you
they
go
come
to the
and
parade?
They just throw it out.
Did you go to the parade with us in Mesick?
Yes.
Where
Oh my
the
gosh.
kids filled backpacks of
Yeah.
candy up?
Yeah. Oh, they would just
It was
throw hands.
our
full.
kids.
Yeah.
Had backpacks full of candy from
Yes.
these
I am
parades.
100% positive that we made out better at the parade
Than
than we did at
Halloween.
Halloween.
Hands down.
At
Oh,
least 2 years
absolutely.
in a row.
Yeah.
If you played your cards right and got some fast kids, you could stock up for years on candy.
You
Yeah.
could. Yeah.
Is that normal? Do you remember it being like that? Because the parades up here, up in northern Michigan, completely caught me off guard with the
Yeah.
amount of candy that they gave out.
And do you know what my memory of that parade was? That's probably the only one we went to. There was a little boy and he had a little sister, and maybe there was another child, and they were right near us.
Do you remember?
And
you're talking
maybe-
up here?
Yeah, and
Okay.
Mesick. And maybe it was Lauren or Lila. Lauren was pretty little. This little boy had been getting a lot of candy, and I think it was Lila. He came over and gave her candy because he said you didn't get very much.
Did he really? I
He
don't
did.
remember that.
Yes.
That's really
And
sweet.
his sister too. He was giving candy to his sister.
I feel
Yeah.
like I remember that. Yeah.
There's some
Yeah.
very sweet
Yeah.
little kids up here.
And I just thought that was awfully sweet.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, that
Our
was
kids are
a
like,
decent,
"Get it, get it,
wasn't
get it."
Oh my God.
Yeah. Well, Lila was a little shy, she was
Yeah.
young, but anyway.
That was one of probably the first learning experiences of like, don't take more than your share. 'Cause-
Exactly.
For like Lila specifically, because she's like faster than everybody.
Yeah.
So she'd go out and like, it's kind of sketchy because they'd throw the candy and it would be like way out in the road, and it would be like city rats. Like the kids look like city rats, like zipping out and getting the candy. But I remember saying like, Lila, don't get it all, like leave it for the people. And she's like, okay. And she'd like look down and be like, is this too much? I'm taking it anyway. Yeah, that's funny.
Yeah, that was a good parade. That was fun.
I'm glad that parades and all these things are coming, like in-person stuff is coming back now.
Yeah.
Because it was weird. Like, we never knew. I mean, you know, they used to have like 4th of July stuff and like Memorial Day parades, and they didn't do any of that this year. So I think this year it's going to like go back to
Come
the fun,
back.
Yeah.
I don't
fun
know.
things.
I hope
I
it
don't
does.
know. It might.
Who knows? We'll be throwing candy at a screen.
They'll be throwing out like like hand sanitizer
Digital
bottles and,
coupons for candy bars and stuff.
Yeah. There you go.
Well, I'm excited. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day.
It is.
How many blueberries do you think we're going to pick?
Well,
Are you going to take a whole bucket home?
I'm going to take some home. I have no freezer space, so I'll take as much as we can have in the fridge and know that we'll eat, because I won't waste them.
Yeah.
But realistically, probably the first day that they're open, there aren't going to be just
Don't jinx us.
gobs of berry, because, it's
the bears.
first day.
It's the bears.
Yeah. But I think probably a weekend, there are going to be a lot more ripe berries.
So like
But
2 weeks from
they're
now is
gonna
going to be prime picking.
Yeah. I think when your parents come up, it's going to be
We're
really,
just gonna
really good.
we're going twice.
Yeah.
We're gonna have to do this twice.
Well, yeah, absolutely. You've got to fill that freezer.
Gotta get all the
So the
blueberries.
interesting thing is, though, I think it's about $2 a pound. I think
think
which is
they
a
are this
really
year.
good
That's
deal
really good.
because it's usually
Well-
about 3 to 4 at Meijer if
Is
you
it?
buy
Are
like
they?
a decent.
Oh, well, you pay $2 or
quart.
$2.50 for a half pint or
yeah,
something.
and
Yeah.
it's two.
Yeah.
It's like I think it's like
They
$2
always
a
make you do
pound.
math.
But they're still super expensive. We used to pay
Yeah.
like 50 cents a pound for them. And
Yeah,
I remember one year we went to Pawpaw. My mom and dad, my sister and brother-in-law, and I went. Mark did not. But anyway, we went to Pawpaw, and I think we picked 100 pounds of blueberries that day.
What?
Yeah, we picked 100 pounds of blueberries and
How'd you
brought them
carry
home.
it
that's
out?
probably like how much is a bucket?
Buckets.
Like 5
Are
pounds.
you serious?
I don't know. Are
100
5,
pounds of
10
blueberries?
pounds?
Yeah,
Like
we
what
did.
would you do with it?
They put them in the freezer.
Like
Mom
jams
froze them, and
pies
Marge froze them.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
That seems excessive.
Well, if you think about it, for a
no.
whole year, that's not that crazy.
yeah, I guess that's true.
if you
And-
saved it for a whole year.
Well, and back then you guys used to just eat bark and like whatever was
Exactly.
in your yard.
We just ate pie all the time, blueberry pie.
Yeah. No, that's okay.
Yeah, and they're the easiest thing to preserve
Yeah.
because all you have to do, we used to roll them in a blanket, like a wool blanket. You just, spread
Yeah,
out
we
a
take the leaves
blanket
and
and
stuff
pour
off?
'em. Yeah, because the leaves and the little twigs and everything stick to the blanket and just the berries roll out
That's
towards the
clever.
bottom and they're clean and then you just,
I think we need to do a YouTube tutorial on this.
and I have a good wool blanket that we probably used 100 years ago.
The blueberry
good
wool
idea.
blanket.
Yeah. And then you just put them in bags because you're not supposed to get them wet before you
Right.
freeze them because
That's
they
true.
get tough.
I've heard that.
So just,
I learned that from you 2 years ago. You
Just-
said lay them
just-
out on like a sheet pan or something like that. And
yeah. Well, you can individually freeze them like that, but you can just roll them and put them in bags and put them in the freezer too.
If you could only pick one more thing for the rest of your life, like pick a fruit or a berry, what would it be? You can only pick one thing.
To eat,
Berry.
Yeah,
Oh.
to eat, to have and to eat. It could be apples. It could be raspberries. It could be blueberries, blackberries. It could be a
Can I
vegetable.
pick two?
No, you can
Oh.
pick one. That's the game.
Well,
What do you think it would be? Mine would be apples.
I love, love, love black raspberries because we don't have very many.
Or
And
grapes.
they only come for a short time in the year, except they're so seedy. That's
If
the
you
only
did grapes,
thing.
you could do wine with grapes.
That's true.
That's
That's
true.
true.
is this like an apocalypse scenario?
Yeah, it'd be like, or
okay.
you could do like carrots.
I like
Carrots are good.
apples. I really love apples.
You'd be the apples.
Yeah.
What about like peaches, pears?
Oh,
pears are good.
Peaches. Oh, peaches.
Lauren loves kiwi.
Oh, I do
She
too.
loves kiwi.
I can't believe
found
that
that
she
out.
eats kiwi like
She
that.
loves it.
I love it. Just peel it and slice it
Yep.
and just eat them up.
She was all about it the other day when she bought that one because we let them just pick a random thing from the fruit section.
I bought some.
We picked aloe, kiwi, and I think Lila picked a peach.
What did you do with aloe?
We have it. It's over there. So I broke it and
What?
showed the girls, and I said,
Just so
Does
you
the
can
aloe
rub it.
leave?
yeah, and I got a sun or what's it called, a palm or something. I got a sunburn so bad, so I like rubbed it on my back a little bit.
Aloe is perfect for that.
But yeah,
is.
Lauren loves kiwi, and then I can't remember what else she got. Yeah, I don't know.
I have to tell this story before we go on. So you'd be apples
Well,
or
yeah.
peaches?
Oh,
If you could only pick one.
Do you get your peaches out in Georgia?
Yeah, I get my weed from California.
you know,
Grandma does not know the Justin
know, that's
Bieber
why.
reference there.
No,
We'll play you the video later.
okay. Say it again.
I get my peaches out in Georgia.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, that's it. I get my weed from California.
Oh.
That's that shit.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a song.
Okay.
You'd like it.
Anyway.
I've probably heard. Yes,
you've
I've
probably
I
probably
have to
heard.
tell you this. Grandma, did you hear this story or did you see the result of this? So
What?
the day that Carly decided she needed to weed the garden. Did you hear about this?
No.
Okay. So you have to understand that I'm a ginger and I get it from my dad.
Yeah.
He's also a ginger. We got that ginger, that fair skin. We don't get tan, we get burned.
Absolutely. Well,
Our
I
kids
kind of
have
do that
that.
too, but
Oh, not like
red
like
haired,
me.
not like you guys do.
So whenever I go outside, I have a phobia of lotion. I don't like oily stuff. I don't like lotiony stuff. Conditioner in my hair makes me squirm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I never put sunscreen on, which is horrible.
Absolutely, I know that.
And I just know when I start to feel tingly, I'm like, I need to put a shirt on or I need to go inside. So Carly always goes, hey, babe, hey, idiot, put a shirt on. And I'm like, I'm fine. I'm like, it's going to be okay. And I haven't peeled real bad. Like I know when like enough's enough, which is someday this is going to be used as evidence against me. They're going to be like, see how dumb you were back then?
We're not paying for you.
But anyway, usually Carly's like super good at putting sunscreen on her kids, on her.
Yep.
Like she never gets sunburned.
Yep.
And I remember she like 2 weeks ago or a week ago, she's like out there like first thing in the morning. She's like down on her hands and knees, like pulling out weeds. And I'm looking at the clock and I'm like, she's been out there 2 hours already. I'm like, how you doing? Oh, I'm good. Like just doing some weed. Like 2 more hours goes by and she's got like her shirt off and she's got a tank top on. And I'm going, it is hot as hell. And I look over and her skin is red. I mean, it's red. And I'm like, that's not from being warm. That's sunburn. And I said, babe, you might want to like take a break. And she's like, nah, I'm good. And she came in like an hour after that and she goes, hey babe, I need you to put some stuff on my arm. She walked in and her skin was maroon.
Oh my gosh.
You see,
Ta-da.
she had
Oh
You don't
my
even need to
most-
see it up close.
the
You
most
just see the
ridiculous
contrast.
sunburn on her back.
It looks like
that
I'm
was
wearing a
immediately coming in. That wasn't even like after the burn
This was
had
within
burned.
5 minutes.
Oh, and it gets darker as the day goes on.
Oh, it's
And-
peeling now.
Oh
And
my God.
I couldn't believe it because I was like,
I started
I
to
said,
blister.
honey, how you're so good at like knowing when you're going to get burned. She goes,
A garden is a black hole.
She goes,
Beware. Don't do it.
I don't know what it was. She goes,
sucks
I
you
talked
in.
myself into saying like, oh, I'm just hot because I'm hot. She goes, I'm sure I'm not burning.
I looked at my
like,
watch though, and
oh
I was
my
like,
God.
I've been out here for 2 hours. It's felt like 5 minutes. My brain literally blacked out as I was pulling weeds out.
So
Like, I didn't realize how long I was out there.
The reason it was so surprising
God.
is because she's so good.
Yeah.
Like the only burn that I've ever seen that was as bad was the one that I got.
Yeah.
So when Carly and I were dating at Michigan State, she wanted to go to the big college pool. And me being weird about sunscreen, I'm like, I'm not putting that shit on my body. I'm like, I hate it. So we're laying out with no shade. And I'm like, trying to be sexy and cool. And I'm laying out with her and she's got all this like SPF stuff on. And we're like swimming and like we've been there for like a couple hours.
Yeah.
And I'm at the point where my skin's tingling. It's tingling. And I'm like,
You said a couple
I
things
am
too. You're like, this
so
doesn't
burned.
feel good. I was
I'm
like,
like,
okay.
I should really
Let's
like
go.
call it a day. And she's like, oh, we're good. And I'm like, yeah, we're good. We're good. We're good. And I remember I came home.
Yeah.
I came home and she goes, oh my God, like, why didn't you tell me you were getting burned? I'm like, well, because, you're attractive and I'm not a pussy. And I was like, and I remember you took a picture of me and I had a blue swimsuit on and I pulled my
Yeah.
swimsuit down half over my butt,
Yeah.
and it looked like the American flag.
Yeah.
It was bright red, bright white ass,
blue.
and blue shorts. And I was like, this is the worst sunburn I have ever had in my
the
life.
worst part was I kept saying, "Here, I have sunscreen. You should put this on."
like,
and
"No,
you'd
thank
go,
you."
"No, I don't want that." And I'm like,
Has
"Babe."
never done that.
I was like, "You should really put some sunscreen on. We've been out here for like 30 minutes and you're already getting pink." And you're like, "No, I don't.
ma'am.
I don't need any. I just get a burn once in the summer, and then the rest of the summer I'm good." And I was like, "That doesn't seem like a logical thing to do." And he was
No.
like, "No, I'm good."
Gosh,
No.
that was bad.
Well, you know, back in the day, we didn't have sunscreen. We
No.
put
Straw hats.
no, we would put baby oil with iodine on to just
What?
Yeah,
it gives you
get
a
the
little
tan.
biggest
color.
tan. Yeah. And man, we go to the lake and lay out on the dock with the reflection off the water for all day, and we would fry.
Well, and now the normal sunscreen that was normal when I was younger is not cool anymore. You have to have like the zinc oxide or you're
Yeah.
gonna die.
I don't even know
Well,
what that
we
is.
used to put the zinc oxide on the sunburn
Yeah.
after we fried, you know, especially on your face.
That stuff works so well though. It goes on like a waxy layer and it does not come off. Like I put it on the kids
Yeah.
and it is like white. And then
that-
when you
yeah.
go, you have
It's
to
very
you have
water
to take,
resistant.
Yeah, you have to take soap and a like washcloth and just scrub it
Oh,
off. And I'm
gosh.
like, this is my type of sunscreen because you have to reapply the other oil-based stuff. The zinc oxide is just like, nope, it's on there. It's like paint.
There are
basically paint.
There are three things in life that I cringe at: rubbing thick sunscreen on my body, cotton balls on my fingernails, and the feeling of crunching snow underneath my feet.
And
Really?
and mayonnaise.
Mayonnaise is basically pus on your food. That's what it is.
God, it's so tasty.
No, it's not. Every once in a while, if I'm really hungry, I will eat mayonnaise.
I went,
Mayonnaise,
You look very
mayonnaise, a
angry
lot
when
of
you're doing
nasty
it.
stuff on sandwiches, though.
I went to Lake
Yuck.
Michigan with a friend once, a female friend in just out of, maybe in high school, just out. And we got a hotel. We were going to spend the weekend at Lake Michigan. So we went out on the beach, you know, the first day, and we got a little bit sunburned and wasn't a lot to do at night. So we went to a drive-in movie. And while we were at the drive-in movie, we were in such pain that we went home, packed up and went home. We didn't even stay the next day. We were so in pain from sunburn. It was
Dude.
awful.
Yeah.
So, you know, it's lucky I don't have.
What a cruel
cancer.
joke. Who did that? Who said, you know what? Let's design human beings so they burn when they're underneath
Yeah.
the one thing that gives them life.
Oh,
like,
okay.
who did that?
Exactly.
So-
exactly.
Why
The
is that
sun
even
is
a
healthy.
thing? Lila told me, she goes, I saw in Wildcrats, Mom, that they just rub water and dirt on them. They rub mud.
Yeah.
So that's how they stay, like cave people stay like sun resistant. And I was
Wild
like, well,
Kratts
let's
has
do that.
basically turned our daughter into a miniature Bear Grylls.
She's so smart.
She's like,
She
I learned that
is.
on Wild
Yeah.
Kratts.
Oh my gosh.
just rub
when-
mud on your skin, Mom.
Two years ago, I will admit, I did rub sunscreen on my upper body and on like my arms when we went river rafting canoeing
Yeah.
down the river. And I made the dumbest mistake I've ever made because I was sitting in the canoe with you guys and I did not put anything on my knees. Do you remember that?
And you had
And
the
my knees
that's
were
so
like, imagine somebody just whipping you with a belt for like all day.
Yeah.
That's what it felt like when I got done. I was
Yeah,
like,
not surprised.
how did I forget my knees?
Yeah, because you had a bathing suit and you
Yeah,
didn't
I was
really
like,
rub
oh.
them on. Yeah.
Have you ever gotten
Everything.
sunscreen or sunburn on your kneecaps?
No.
I did.
I always thought it
was
was really
terrible.
hard to get my legs tan, even.
Yeah.
For
me
some
either.
reason. I don't know why. When you're
I
laying
don't know
out.
either. I don't know.
Ouch.
Anyway, okay. We've had so many good stories. So many. First of all, thank you for staying up so late
Yes.
and doing this because it's super late
It
and
is.
Grandma tried her best to not do this. So
I did, but you know what?
you
This
didn't
is
say anything
is-
incriminating.
no,
So
but
you're
this
good.
is my prime time.
Yeah. Grandma's a night owl.
I am 4 o'clock, and then I just kind of sleep until I wake up the next day. And I'm not even
I have
ashamed
that too.
of that.
I am
I've
not a
always
morning
been a
person.
night
You're tired.
owl.
I got that from you. I would much rather stay up until 3 o'clock in the morning instead of getting up at 4 in the morning.
Well, you know, I have read that there are night people and there are morning people,
Yeah.
and I am a night person.
are for sure a night
and
person.
Matt is a night person, and Kristen also is a night person. She stays up late and she could sleep all day. And unfortunately, Dad goes to bed at 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Gets up at 5 o'clock in the morning. What can I say?
Yeah. Well,
don't know.
you know, teach their own.
Yeah.
Anyway, so this was episode 28. And thank you so much for hanging in there with us. If you have watched all of this, please subscribe, right?
Absolutely. And give it a thumbs up.
Yeah, because I'm tired of just having her give us a thumbs up. We have one thumbs up on every podcast, and it's from Grandma.
Oh,
me.
I've seen more than one.
I thumbs up
I'm
our
just
own
kidding.
podcasts. I'm like, I post it. I'm like, ooh, that's the
I
thumbs
told
up.
you to stop doing that. It doesn't help the algorithm.
Yes, it does. It gives us a negative algorithm attribute.
Yeah, it puts us back. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. Give us a thumbs up. Leave us a comment on what you'd like Grandma to be on the next podcast and talk about, or if you want to hear more stories. And,
I want to hear other people's stories. Like,
yeah.
give us just like a couple sentences. Like, one time my mom left me down by the river. Yeah, I want to hear them.
I wanted that just reminded me of the river.
Ooh, a bonus. Ooh, a bonus.
Oh,
We'll do
man.
that another
That's
time.
another one. Part 2.
Yeah, that is not a fun summer memory. That's a
No.
traumatic winter memory.
Yes.
We'll talk about that on the next one.
Yeah, absolutely. It's been fun. Thank you,
FYI, I
kids.
fell into a river
Yeah.
at some point. I won't go into more detail.
Yeah,
but
When
it was very cold.
very, very cold.
And it was Christmas time.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay. Anyway, thank you for watching, and we will catch you on the next one.
Bye. Thank you.
Goodbye.
See ya.
It's been fun.